Hello, everybody. This is the second in a series of videos I'm doing that sort of unpacks the massive relief package that Congress passed and the president signed into law called the CARES Act. On this video, we're going to talk about all the other provisions related to individuals. And first off, again, let me say that I hope everybody's staying safe and healthy through all of this. So let's get started. There are two related to retirement accounts. The first has to do with what we call required minimum distributions, or RMDs. And under current law, when you're 72 or older, you have to begin taking money out of your retirement accounts. Congress has decided to waive that requirement for 2020. So anybody who's required to take a distribution in 2020 no longer needs to. You obviously can if you have to, but you're not required to. So they've waived that requirement. The second has to do with taking money from your retirement accounts when you're younger younger than 59 and a half, technically. And so what happens? Well, when you're younger than 59 and a half, you take a distribution, two things happen. First, you have to recognize income for the amount that you take out of your retirement account, or that's generally the case. The second is that you'll have a 10% penalty tax on top of that. So Congress realizes that some people are going to be struggling financially and would like to loosen up some of those provisions. And here's what they've decided. Number one, the 10% penalty tax is waived for people taking distributions who are affected by the virus. Now that could mean they are either diagnosed with it, they have a spouse or dependent that's diagnosed with it, or they're struggling with some major financial hardship as a result of the virus. So this is the 10% penalty tax is waived, and it's waived on up to $100,000 of distribution. The second very important part of the provision is the income recognition. Usually, you recognize all the income in the year you receive it. In this particular case, you can ratably allocate that income over a 3-year period. So if you take a $90,000 distribution, $30,000 becomes income in 2020, 30 becomes income in 2021, and 30 becomes income in 2022. So it spreads that income out over 3 years. Very helpful to a lot of taxpayers. Okay, and remember that you can only take up to $100,000 out of your retirement account. Oh, last part of it, another really important part. From the moment that you take money out of it, you have 3 years to pay it back. So if in year 2 you're back to normal and you're making a little bit of extra money, you can refund that amount that you took out. Okay, and that's not, usually you can only put in a certain amount into your IRA. Well, this allows you to put much more back, but you can only put back what you took out related to the coronavirus. Okay, next is the charitable donations. And for people who do not itemize their deductions, Congress is now allowing a $300 deduction, what we call above the line. That means that it is deducted before you get to gross income, adjusted gross income. That means you don't have to itemize to get up to $300 of charitable donation. Now, the donation needs to be made in cash. You can't do a non-cash donation. But it does. But for those people who do not itemize, this is a nice little deduction, and it does help people. It helps support people making donations to charities at this very difficult time. Okay. Lastly, employers who are sponsoring a education plan where they can pay for their employees to go back to college, and they can pay up to $5,250 of that tuition, and that is excluded from pay. Congress has now decided that included in those payments can be repayment of student debt. So it's not just the payment of tuition at this point, it's the repayment of student debt, which can also qualify for the exclusion. Okay, so I hope that unpacks and helps everybody understand it. Again, this will all be up on our website, so if you need to look at more details and take some time yourself, please do so. And I guess that's it. Okay, like I said, stay safe and healthy. Okay, thanks, bye.